The ocean has swallowed many secrets, but some mysteries refuse to stay buried. Today's story begins with a place the world once believed was only a myth, an island that appeared and disappeared at will. Sailors feared it, explorers hunted it, and those who ever set foot on a broken bar were never seen again. This is the forgotten tale of Isolanda, the island that erased its own people overnight. It began in the summer of 1924, when a small cargo vessel named Martina sailed from Portugal toward Brazil. The crew of 18 men was experienced, disciplined, and familiar with every known route. But on their 7th night at sea, something strange happened. The sky turned crimson, and not like a sunset, but like a warning. A long, glowing streak of red mist hovered low over the ocean. The men had never seen anything like it. "Is that a storm?" the first officer asked, squinting at the horizon. The captain slowly shook his head. "Storms don't glow from within." The crew felt the sea beneath them shift, a calm, yet unsettling. And then, without warning, the ship entered the red mist. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. The compass began to spin wildly. The radios only produced faint static mixed with something that resembled whispers. For 45 minutes the crew fought to steer the ship out of the fog, and then, as quickly as it arrived, the mist opened at a broken bar, revealing an island no one remembered seeing on the charts. It was lush, green, breathtaking, and impossibly silent. The island seemed untouched, peaceful even. The men anchored the ship near shore. They needed fresh water, supplies, and most of all information. But the moment they set foot on land, their excitement faded, because the beach was covered in deep claw marks, carved into the sand, and old wooden planks. Not animal claws, something sharper, longer, deliberate. "Are these made by people?" one sailor asked, kneeling to inspect them. "People don't have claws," another whispered. The captain ordered everyone to stay together. But Jacob, a young and fearless sailor, wandered off toward the tree line, and then came the scream. The men sprinted toward him and found Jacob trembling on the ground, clutching an old rusted locket. Inside the locket was a symbol carved in a language none of them recognized, a jagged, circular, almost alive. "There's someone here," Jacob stammered. "Someone was watching me." The captain took the locket, his face tightening. "Everyone stays close. No one goes off alone again." They headed back toward the shore, planning to return to the ship immediately. A broken bar. But when they reached the beach, they froze. The Martina was no longer anchored. It was half buried in sand, pulled downward at a terrifying angle, like something beneath the beach had dragged it down. "How is this possible?" a crewman cried. The captain didn't answer. He couldn't. Night was falling, and with night came a strange transformation. The sky darkened unnaturally fast, and a deep red glow pulsed from somewhere within the forest. The air grew heavier, thicker, like the island was breathing. They built a fire on the beach and stayed awake in shifts. But around midnight, the fire suddenly extinguished. It snuffed out, as though a hand had closed around it. When the captain looked down, he saw the locket again, placed neatly beside him. "Jacob?" the captain called softly, but the young sailor was nowhere in sight. Only silence answered back. Morning brought more horror. While searching for Jacob, the crew found dozens of human footprints scattered through the forest. Bare feet, men, women, children, all fresh. But there was no one to be found. Just empty huts made of stone and wood, a broken bar, and a single carved board stuck into the ground. Upon it were etched 127 names of the island's original inhabitants, a people recorded in old maritime documents as settlers who vanished centuries earlier. But a new name had appeared beneath the list, freshly carved with unnatural precision: Jacob. The men backed away instantly. Something was horribly wrong. Human disappearances didn't just a broken bar update themselves. A branch snapped behind them. They turned. Something stood just beyond the trees. It looked human at first, human-shaped, human height, human posture. But its legs were bending backward, its fingers were too long. Its eyes glowed a sickening, pulsing red, and around its neck hung the same rusted locket Jacob had held. "Jacob, a broken bar?" one of the men whispered. The creature blinked, slowly, deliberately, then it vanished into the shadows with an unnatural speed. Panic broke out. The remaining crew ran through the forest searching for escape, but the island seemed to shift around them. Paths curved where they hadn't before. Trees moved. Rocks appeared in new places. It was as if the island was rearranging itself, a broken bar trapping them. By noon they discovered an ancient stone structure, a half-temple, half-tomb. Strange carvings covered the walls, depicting humans kneeling before tall, distorted figures. At the center was an inscription in broken Portuguese. "We took their forms to survive the dark. Now the dark owns those forms forever." One sailor whispered, "This place is a broken bar, it absorbs people." "No," the captain said quietly, "it steals them." As they studied the markings, a low hum rose beneath their feet. The ground vibrated, the walls glowed faintly red. The captain realized they had to get off the island immediately before the island noticed they were still there. But by evening, 2 more men had disappeared. Only 5 remained. They finally reached the shore, only to find the sea glowing red again. The island's reflection shimmered unnaturally on the water's surface like it wasn't solid, but alive, breathing, waiting. The captain opened his journal. His hands shook as he wrote his final words. "If you find this, turn back. Do not trust the voices. Do not follow the footprints. And if you hear someone calling your name in the dark, run the other way, because the island copies you, the island becomes you, the island keeps you." 5 days later, fishermen found the captain's journal floating in a sealed glass bottle, but no ship named Martina was ever discovered. No crewmen, no wreckage. And the island of Isolanda? It was gone, vanished from maps, vanished from memory, vanished from the sea. Until recently, modern satellite images show a faint, shifting shape beneath the Atlantic surface. Some nights, sailors swear they see a red glow rising from the waves, and a few even claim they've heard voices calling to them, a broken bar, voices that sound eerily familiar, as if someone they once knew is waiting, calling out, trying to return. But everyone who knows this story understands one truth: whatever calls from that water broken bar is not human anymore.